Hello and a very good morning. It's just past 8 this Thursday morning and we're back again with all the news on the Breakfast News. I am Nancy Kohli and over the next 1 hour we'll get you all the major happenings and the newspaper headlines published from the national capital as well, and news from across the nation and around the world, business updates and sports stories as well. But first, let's begin with the headlines. Last day of nomination for the third phase of Lok Sabha elections. The voting to take place on 23rd April at 115 seats spread across 14 states in this phase. Congress President Rahul Gandhi to file his nomination from Wayanad seat in Kerala today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses a series of rallies in Arunachal Pradesh, West Bengal and Maharashtra. Congress President Rahul Gandhi also addresses rallies in Assam and Nagaland. The Reserve Bank of India to announce its bi-monthly monetary policy today. It will be the new first in the new fiscal year. All eyes on the interest rates. WhatsApp launches new feature to detect fake news. You can now refer to WhatsApp to check the veracity of the news. The social media platform also adds privacy settings that will force people to seek consent before adding them to the chat groups. In international news, British MPs passed the Delay Brexit vote in the House of Commons by a single vote majority. The vote can pave the way for the extension of the Brexit date by European Union. And in badminton, in the Malaysia Open PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth enter the second round. Saina Nehwal loses to her Thai opponent. Our top story: today is the last day to file nomination for the third phase of Lok Sabha elections. 115 seats spread across 14 states will go to polls in this phase on 23rd April. All the seats in Goa, Gujarat, Kerala, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu and Puducherry will go for polls in this phase. 14 seats each in Maharashtra and Karnataka, 10 seats in Uttar Pradesh, 7 seats in Chhattisgarh, 6 seats in Odisha, 5 seats each in Bihar and West Bengal and 4 seats in Assam will go to polls in the third phase. The Anantnag seat in Jammu and Kashmir will also go for polls in this phase. Moving on now, Congress President Rahul Gandhi, who is contesting from Wayanad Lok Sabha seat in Kerala, in addition to his traditional stronghold of Amethi in Uttar Pradesh, will be filing his nomination today. And let's now go across to our correspondent Ajay Vikram Singh, who is joining us with more inputs on that. Ajay, good morning. Now, this is going to be important because the Congress president had announced a few days back that he's going to be contesting from Wayanad in Kerala, apart from Amethi in Uttar Pradesh. And Wayanad is the largest tribal settlement in Kerala, also the heartland for the pepper farming in the country. So this is going to be a very important seat for the Congress president. Just put this into perspective for us and the preparations that you are seeing in place there before he files his nomination papers.
बिल्कुल नैन्सी, आज तकरीबन 10:30 बजे राहुल गांधी वायनाड सीट से अपना नामांकन भरेंगे। चूंकि आज तीसरे चरण का नामांकन का अंतिम दिन है, उस लिहाज से वो उसका नामांकन करेंगे और 23 तारीख को इस सीट का मतदान होगा। काफी अहमियत है राहुल गांधी के वायनाड जाने की। अगर कांग्रेस की रणनीति की बात करें तो कांग्रेस ने कोशिश की है कि दक्षिण भारत में अपने ज्यादा से ज्यादा सीटें हासिल की जाए अपने इस मूव के जरिए, क्योंकि वायनाड का जो इलाका है वो कर्नाटक, केरल और तमिलनाडु के बॉर्डर से जुड़ता हुआ है। तीनों राज्यों में एक संदेश देने की कोशिश है राहुल गांधी के वहां जाने से। लेकिन उसमें भी कई सवाल भी उठ रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी 2004, 2009, 2014 में सांसद बने अमेठी से और उन्होंने कभी दूसरी सीट को ऑप्ट नहीं किया। इस चुनाव में ऐसी क्या वजह थी कि वो दूसरी सीट से भी चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं? निश्चित तौर पर विपक्षी दल इस पे हमलावर है और राहुल गांधी से सवाल पूछते रहेंगे पूरे चुनाव भर। लेकिन कांग्रेस की अपनी रणनीति है और विपक्षी दल अपना हमला करते रहेंगे। निश्चित तौर पर आज नामांकन के बाद वहां पर एक रोड शो भी है उसके पहले और उस रोड शो के बाद वो अपना नामांकन करेंगे।
All right, Ajay Vikram Singh, thanks very much for joining us with all those inputs. We'll of course get more inputs on that front with you through the day today. So Rahul Gandhi is going to be contesting from Wayanad in Kerala, and today he's going to be filing his nomination papers, and in fact he'll also be holding a roadshow before filing the nomination papers. Let's now move on. BJP National President Amit Shah is visiting Telangana and Andhra Pradesh today, where he will hold election rallies. The BJP president will first visit Telangana, where he will hold rallies in Karimnagar and Warangal. He will later hold a rally in Guntur. The BJP president will also hold a roadshow in Visakhapatnam today. Congress President Rahul Gandhi will hold an election rally in Nagpur. Union Minister and BJP leader Smriti Irani will today begin a two-day visit to Amethi in Uttar Pradesh. She will be addressing a Kisan rally in Parshedpur under the Amethi parliamentary constituency. Smriti Irani is the Bharati Janata Party's candidate for Amethi this time again. And BSP chief Mayawati and Jan Sena Party founder Pawan Kalyan will jointly address public meetings in Tirupati and Hyderabad today. So the campaigning is in full swing in the states where polling will be held in the first phase on the 11th of April, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday addressed rallies in Arunachal Pradesh, West Bengal and Maharashtra. Referring to the Congress's manifesto as a hypocrisy document which is full of lies, Prime Minister Modi said in a rally in Arunachal Pradesh that the upcoming Lok Sabha elections will be about the choice between trust and corruption and about resolution and conspiracy. Here's more on the Prime Minister's rallies.
On the campaign trail in the northeast and the east, Prime Minister Narendra Modi lashed out at opposition parties, accusing them of making false promises. Addressing an election rally in Pasighat in Arunachal Pradesh on Wednesday, the Prime Minister termed the Congress manifesto a document full of lies. The Prime Minister said that this election is between corruption and commitment.
इन लोगों की तरह ही इनका घोषणा पत्र भी भ्रष्ट होता है, बेईमान होता है, डकौसलों से भरा होता है, और इसलिए उसे घोषणा पत्र नहीं, डकोसला पत्र कहना चाहिए। जो तिरंगे झंडे को जलाते हैं, उसका अपमान करते हैं। जो आपकी तरह जय हिंद नहीं, लेकिन भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे का नारा लगाते हैं, ऐसे लोगों से भी कांग्रेस को सहानुभूति है।
The Prime Minister's next stop was West Bengal, where he addressed two rallies, one in Siliguri and the other in Kolkata. Both rallies saw massive turnouts. At the Siliguri rally, Prime Minister underlined his commitment to the development of West Bengal. He alleged that the Congress, CPM and Trinamool were responsible for the pathetic state of affairs in the state.
मैं पश्चिम बंगाल की जनता को कहना चाहता हूं, ये भी चाहे लेफ्ट हो, कांग्रेस हो, ममता दीदी हो, ये एक ही थाली के चट्टे बट्टे हैं। इनकी राजनीति पश्चिम बंगाल को गरीब करने पर ही टिकी हुई है, लेकिन ये भूल रहे हैं कि इनका मुकाबला एक चौकीदार से है।
Later, speaking at a rally in Kolkata, the Prime Minister came down heavily on those asking for evidence of the Balakot airstrikes, saying some forces are out to break the morale of security forces. Taking a swipe at the Mahagathbandhan, the Prime Minister said that while he focused on upliftment of the poor, opposition parties have only one-point agenda, removing Modi.
बंगाल में एक मंच पर कुछ लोगों को कहते सुना था, मोदी हटाओ, मोदी हटाओ, मोदी हटाओ। बड़ा मेला लगा था ना यहाँ पर। अलग अलग राज्यों से नेता बंगाल आए, सिर्फ इतना बताने के लिए मोदी हटाओ। कलकत्ते में इतना बड़ा जलसा किया, मोदी हटाओ। अरे भाई क्यों हटाओ? ऐसा क्या गुनाह किया है मोदी ने? गरीबों को घर देना गुनाह है क्या? अगर यह गुनाह है तो मैंने किया है।
In the final rally of the day in Gondia in Maharashtra, the Prime Minister recounted the many achievements of his government. Training his guns on the NCP and the Congress, he spoke of his government's initiatives and commitment for farmers. Prime Minister targeted those who questioned the surgical strikes.
सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक याद है ना? आतंकियों को कैसे घर में घुसकर मारा। आजकल दिल्ली के एयर कंडीशन कमरे में बैठे हुए लोग नई नई कथाएं बाजार में छोड़ते रहते हैं, जिनको मोदी शब्द सुनते ही नींद हराम हो जाती है। ये लोग चला रहे हैं। ये जो बालाकोट की घटना है ना, अब महीना हो गया, लोग भूल रहे हैं। 1962 की लड़ाई भी नहीं भूला है, तो बालाकोट कैसे भूल सकता है?
As crowds throng his rallies, the Prime Minister himself presents a report card of his government's work and appeals to voters for another turn to serve them. With Vishal Baristo in Pasighat, Abhishek in Siliguri and Anibrato in Kolkata, Bureau Report, DD News.
And Congress President Rahul Gandhi was in Assam and Nagaland on Wednesday to garner support for his party. Addressing a rally in Assam, the Congress president said that the Congress will restore special status of the northeastern states and bring in an industrial policy to make the region a manufacturing hub. Rahul Gandhi also said that the Congress is committed to ensuring minimum wages for the tea garden workers.
20% परिवार हिंदुस्तान के 12,000 रुपए प्रति महीना से कम कमाते हैं। जैसे हमारी सरकार बनेगी, हम इन सब लोगों के नाम एक लिस्ट में डालेंगे और इन सब परिवारों के बैंक अकाउंट में हर साल हिंदुस्तान की सरकार 72,000 रुपए डालेगी।
West Bengal Chief Minister and Trinamool Congress's Mamata Banerjee began her campaign from Cooch Behar, strongly contesting Prime Minister Modi's allegations that she acted as a speed breaker in West Bengal's development. Mamata Banerjee challenged Prime Minister Modi to a direct debate. Odisha Chief Minister and BJD President Naveen Patnaik also was on a campaign trail in Behrampur. His roadshow saw an enthusiastic response. Addressing a rally, Naveen Patnaik said that the leaders of the various national political parties visit Odisha during elections and then disappear when the people are in trouble. In Jammu and Kashmir, PDP chief and former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti also filed a nomination from Anantnag. Her opponent from the National Conference, Justice Hasnain Masoodi, also filed his nomination, flanked by Umar Abdullah, the Vice President of the party.
ये तो पहली बार अनंतनाग से हम इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ रहे हैं। पहले भी लड़े हमने इलेक्शन। इंशाल्लाह यहाँ के लोग जो हैं वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा बाशऊर हैं, इलेक्शन को समझते हैं और इंशाल्लाह पहले की तरह इस बार भी इलेक्शन बहुत अच्छे होंगे।
Supriya Sule also filed a nomination from Bharati, replacing Sharad Pawar. Ajit Pawar had so far been touted as Sharad Pawar's political heir, but the father bequeathed his seat to his daughter instead. And the BJP candidate from Rampur, Jaya Prada, also filed her nomination on Wednesday. So the campaigning is in full swing in the states where the polling will be held on the first phase. That's on the 11th of April. Let's go across now to our correspondent Shailendra Mishra for more on that. Shailendra, so the leaders are on a campaign trail and several rallies are being held. Nomination papers are being filed. Political climate is heating up. As soon we are approaching the first phase of the polling, what political developments, in the political circles are you seeing around you taking place every day?
जी देखिए नैन्सी, निश्चित तौर पर अब जब पहले चरण की मतदान की तारीख नजदीक आ रही है तो ऐसे में तमाम जो राजनीतिक दल हैं उनकी जो चुनावी जनसभाओं की तेज होती जा रही हैं। अगर हम बात करें तो आज तेलंगाना, आंध्र प्रदेश में जनसभाएं होनी है। बीजेपी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष अमित शाह की और विशाखापट्टनम में एक रोड शो भी आयोजित है। केंद्रीय मंत्री स्मृति ईरानी आज दौरे पर है, अमेठी जाएंगी। आज हम जानते हैं कि अमेठी में बीजेपी ने उन्होंने एक बार फिर उम्मीदवार बनाया है कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष राहुल गांधी के खिलाफ। उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ लगातार खासतौर पर पश्चिमी उत्तर प्रदेश में पिछले कई दिनों में उन्होंने कई चुनावी जनसभाओं को संबोधित किया है। जहाँ तक बीजेपी का सवाल है, तमाम जो बीजेपी के आले नेता हैं वो एक चुनाव प्रचार में तेजी ला रहे हैं। हम जानते हैं कि नामांकन का दौर भी चल रहा है। इस बीच अहमदाबाद पूर्व से एच.एस. पटेल, जिनको कल देर रात प्रत्याशी घोषित किया गया है बीजेपी की तरफ से, आज वो अपना नामांकन दाखिल करने वाले हैं। तो इस बीच नामांकन का दौर भी चल रहा है और तमाम अन्य दलों के जो राजनीतिक नेता हैं वो भी देखें तो तमाम जनसभाओं को संबोधित कर रहे हैं, चाहे कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष राहुल गांधी हो या उत्तर प्रदेश के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री समाजवादी पार्टी के मुखिया अखिलेश यादव हो। तो निश्चित तौर पर ये कह सकते हैं कि पहले चरण में जहां पर चुनाव होना है वहां पर देखें तो जो चुनावी गतिविधियां हैं, जो प्रचार है, वो काफी तेज हो रहा है।
Absolutely. All right, Shailendra Mishra, thanks very much for joining us for the moment and sharing all those inputs. So the campaigning is in full swing in the states where polling will be held in the first phase on the 11th of April. The political climate clearly heating up ahead of the first phase. Let's now move on. The Congress on Wednesday released a list of 11 candidates, including 6 from Gujarat and 4 from West Bengal for the Lok Sabha elections. The party has fielded Sarath Patnaik from Sambalpur Lok Sabha seat in Odisha. In its latest of 6 candidates from Gujarat, the party has fielded Parthibai Bhatol from Banaskantha, Rajendra Thakur from Sabarkantha and Paresh Dhanani from Amreli. The party has also fielded Manhar Patel from Bhavnagar, Bimal Shah from Khera and Ashok Adivada from Surat. Besides announcing its Lok Sabha candidate for 1 seat in Odisha, the party also released a list of 9 candidates for the assembly elections. In some other news now, the national highway from Baramulla to Udhampur has been out of bounds for the civilian traffic on Sundays and Wednesdays till 31st of May. The ban would be in force on the 2 days from 4 in the morning till 5 in the evening. According to an official statement, the measure has been adopted to facilitate unhindered movement of security forces convoys to eliminate the possibility of the Fidaiin terror attacks during the ongoing poll process. The ban on civilian traffic would be effective from Baramulla to Udhampur through Srinagar, Kazigund, Jawahar Tunnel, Banihal and Ramban. And moving on now, Bangalore South is witnessing a straight contest between a veteran and a newcomer. The Congress senior leader B.K. Hariprasad is pitted against the Bharati Janata Party's youth icon and the party's youngest candidate, 28-year-old Tejasvi Surya. The constituency that has a mix of urban and conservative voters and also home to India's Silicon Valley is expecting a leadership with a vision for development, and the name of a candidate matters very little here. Take a look at this report.
Ashoka pillar behind me is the identity of Bangalore South. This has been the identity for several years, but slowly this identity of Bangalore South constituency changed to Bangalore's Silicon Valley, which is situated just few kilometers from the Ashoka pillar here in this constituency. And this sums up the sudden growth of IT in this region and the development of Bangalore South.
The prestigious Bangalore South constituency has seen leadership of BJP leader Anant Kumar, considered a moderate and pro-development face of BJP, who held this Lok Sabha for 6 consecutive terms. His sudden demise left a vacuum for the BJP. But the party found a young face, Tejasvi Surya, dynamic personality and has youth connect through the social media. Anant Kumar's wife Tejaswini was a strong contender, but the party decided in favour of Tejasvi for the very fact that it can groom another Anant Kumar to replace him. The road shows of Tejasvi Surya along with BJP National President Amit Shah in Bangalore South are an indicator that Tejasvi is connecting with youth. He addresses the youth and instills confidence in them to trust him, just as they would trust a young 28-year-old CEO or a 27-year-old captain of a cricket team.
When so many youngsters can lead their teams and build leadership just like a young CEO or a cricket captain, why can't a 28-year-old go to Lok Sabha and be the voice of the people?
On the other hand, Congress veteran B.K. Hariprasad, who was a former Gujarat Congress in charge General Secretary, begins his campaign stating that Bangalore South model is the actual model of development and credits UPA and former Congress government in the state. He says his opponent in this contest is not Tejasvi Surya but Narendra Modi.
The young man has been misled doctrine for whatever he is. So I have no comments on that. My fight is against BJP. My fight is against Mr. Narendra Modi.
Voters say what matters to them is a vision for the country and welfare of the people.
Nowadays, we know very well the Modi is doing good job when you take attack on Pakistan, and he have the more knowledge how to lead the India.
The JDS Congress coalition government in power has made several promises to improve the infrastructure for Bangalore South, but the commitments still remain on paper. And the speedy delivery of infrastructure-related projects by the centre and the coalition rift is leading to unpredictable instability in governance, which is a factor too before the voters. Aisha Khanam, DD News, Bangalore.
And in more ground report, known for its innovative electoral campaigns and intense voter participation at the hustings, Kerala is still not ready to rest on its laurels. The state with a high voter awareness wants to achieve more involvement from the people in the biggest democratic exercise. The administration has now released a full-fledged, professionally produced song for making voters more aware and generating a sense of involvement in them. The music has been well complemented by a video. Take a look.
To the people of Kerala, being bombarded by the cacophony of the shrill election campaign music, these lines come as a breath of fresh air. Not urging them to choose a party or praising some leader, this song actually exhorts people to get ready to vote and take absolute pride in being a voter. Election song 2019 has been titled Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Kal Naam. Penned by K. Jayakumar, former Chief Secretary, the 4-minute piece has been sung by state playback legend K.S. Chitra. The song was released in Thiruvananthapuram in the presence of Governor P. Sadasivam.
It will definitely motivate and encourage the young voters and the people to participate in this democratic festival of elections, because elections should not be dominated by the political activities alone. It has a lot of cultural, social and patriotic aspects also. People should feel fully involved, people should feel free and they should feel independent without any kind of pressure, any kind of influence.
The video provides an English translation of the lyrics which seek to send across the idea that by voting, people shape India's destiny and create the colours of the future. It is probably the first time that a state will have an official election song urging voters to cast their votes. Ravi Dhiman from Thiruvananthapuram, DD News.
And as electioneering picks up in Arunachal Pradesh, where assembly elections will also be held simultaneously with the Lok Sabha elections on the 11th of April, the Sahitya Academy Award winner and the former Deputy Election Commissioner Y.D. Tongji recalled the experiences when the first assembly elections were held in Arunachal Pradesh. Listen in.
At what age I have started voting? I will tell you that my voting started with the very beginning of when first assembly election was held in Arunachal Pradesh. It was 1978, first election was held. And people were very ignorant at that time. They did not know how to vote. People took this stamp and they wanted to, they were searching where to put that stamp. I went to a place called Sera Bosti in Bomdila. The polling board was in the school, and there were a lot of what you call charts, photos, and many of them went there and then put their stamp there. They thought that it is they have to put stamp. Many people said that where I have to put my stamp in your this thing, like that. Earlier, you have to go for printing the ballot box, what you call, ballot papers, and it takes a lot of time. Lot of secrecy has to be maintained. Then at the last moment also, we were very much afraid whether ballot paper will come in time or not, and it has to be sorted out again. Ballot paper records are to be maintained. Lot of procedures were there. Even at the time of counting, for counting of one constituency, it used to take many hours, sometimes even 20 hours also. Nowadays, due to EVM, you can count it within 1 or 2 hours. Result can be declared. It has become very easy, and for voters also, it has become very easy.
And let's now move on to some international news. The British MPs voted narrowly on Wednesday in favour of legislation that would force the government to seek to delay Brexit beyond the current 12th April deadline. The vote passed by just 313 votes in favour and 312 against in the lower House of Commons, and the bill will now be passed to the upper House of Lords for final approval today. Theresa May had said on Tuesday that she would seek another short extension to Brexit beyond 12th April in order to try and work with the Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn to get her thrice rejected Brexit deal approved by Parliament. The bill requires Theresa May to get Parliament's approval for the detail of any delay and allows the lawmakers to propose a different length of extension. And former Nissan Renault chief Carlos Ghosn has been re-arrested in Tokyo while out on bail pending trial over claims of financial misconduct. Prosecutors had been building a new case against him involving payments to a dealer in Oman. Ghosn, who has strongly denied wrongdoing, had only recently been released from the prison after being arrested last November. On Wednesday, Renault accused him of questionable and concealed practices. It was the first time that Renault has publicly criticized its former star executive. And in more news from around the world, classes have resumed in Venezuela schools on Wednesday after two major national blackouts left frustrated parents struggling to entertain their children and forced the Education Ministry to extend the school year. Two major nationwide power outages led the government to cancel classes across the country. The Education Minister said that classes which usually end at the beginning of July would continue until the end of that month. Moving on now, WhatsApp has launched an India-focused fact-checking feature to combat fake news and rumors starting with the run-up to the Lok Sabha elections. So one can now refer to WhatsApp to check the veracity of the news. The messaging platform has said that its Indian users, numbering more than 200 million, can now report uncertain information or rumors they have received to a WhatsApp number, and that number is 9643 000 888 and check its authenticity. The WhatsApp has also said that it will now allow its users to decide whether they want to get added to the groups on the instant messaging platform. The move assumes a lot of significance, especially ahead of elections in the country, as the social media platforms are expected to play a major role in political campaigns to reach out to citizens in large numbers. And moving on now to some sports news. Top Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth advanced to the second round of the Malaysia Open World Tour Super 750 tournament in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday. Olympic and World Championship silver medalist Sindhu staved off a spirited challenge from world number 20 Aya Ohori to record her sixth win over the Japanese. India Open finalist Srikanth beat Indonesia's Ihsan Maulana Mustafa. However, it was curtains for Saina Nehwal. She lost to Chochuwong Pondapawi of Thailand 20-20, 15-21, 10-21. And in the IPL, Mumbai Indians beat Chennai Super Kings by 37 runs in the IPL in Mumbai on Wednesday. Sent into bat, Mumbai Indians scored 170 for 5 at the Wankhede Stadium and restricted Chennai Super Kings to 133 for 8 in 20 overs. And time now for all the news from finance and business with Ajay.
Thank you, Nancy. Welcome all to Finance World. All eyes are on the RBI's monetary policy. We'll share you the expectation from that. But first, look at the top lines first. The Asian shares paused near the 8-month peak on Thursday as investors awaited developments on the trade talks between the United States and China, who appear closer to signing a deal, nudging bond yields higher globally and softening the safe haven yen. The government is expected to raise about 480 crores by selling 12.12% stake in Rail Vikas Nigam Limited (RVNL), with both retail and institutional investors lapping up the shares reserved for them. This is the first central public sector enterprise divestment in the current fiscal, which started on 1st April. And gold prices on Wednesday dipped by 100 rupees to 32,750 rupees per 10 grams in New Delhi on lackluster demand from jewelers, according to the All India Sarrafa Association. Silver prices, however, advanced by 20 rupees to 38,420 per kilogram. Traders said gain in equities market reduced gold's safe haven appeal and sluggish demand from local jewelers weighed on the prices. Reserve Bank of India will present its monetary policy today, and the 3-day monetary policy committee meeting started and the key outcome will be delivered. The Reserve Bank of India had reduced the repo rate by 25 basis points in February after a gap of 18 months. Currently, the repo rate stands at 6.25%. In its last monetary policy review in February, the MPC had shifted the monetary policy stance to neutral from calibrated tightening. Economists believe that the RBI is likely to cut a repo rate this time also in order to boost growth.
I am hoping that the new governor and the new RBI MPC sees correctly the light, and therefore I am saying both I believe that they will do, and I think they should do, and I think they will do, is a 50 basis point rate cut.
Unless we don't change the stance on liquidity, the transmission is not going to be smoother. And that is where I think there are times when we are witnessing that we have witnessed in the last 4-5 years, this kind of a disconnect which has led to some kind of a problem when it comes to transmission of monetary policy actions. So when it comes to transmission, I think now we are seeing some measures which are being taken to ensure that liquidity is gradually moving back towards, April 2016 there was a liquidity framework which was announced by the RBI for the liquidity to move towards neutrality.
Especially in a country like India, you need flexibility. In my view, it's been implemented too strictly since the beginning. And then there is the question of timing, when do you do what, the quantum of adjustment. All these are issues we've not really seen discussed in the context of inflation targeting.
One issue that has been flagged, and I want to go a little more granular in it, is that the transmission mechanism doesn't take place. The Reserve Bank keeps reducing the rate of interest, but banks generally don't transmit it. The other side that has not been flagged enough is the commercial banks are having the deposits. And for them to adjust immediately as quickly as the Reserve Bank does is not as easy. And that issue has to be taken into account.
As snapping its 4-session rising streak, the benchmark Sensex tumbled about 180 points yesterday as investors took money off the table following forecast of below normal monsoon this year. After swinging nearly 450 points, the 30-share BSE Sensex settled at 179.53 points at 38,877. The Gauss had closed above 39,000 mark for the first time ever on Tuesday. The broader market NSE Nifty 2 paired early gains and ended 69 points down at 11,643. And US stocks opened higher, resuming a rally after a pause in the previous session, fueled by optimism over the trade talks with Beijing, and the China's economy showed new signs of recovery. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 58 points. The open, the S&P 500 opened higher by 8 points at 2,876. The Nasdaq Composite gained 42 points to 7,891 at the opening bell. That's all in the finance world. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Ajay, for all the news from the world of finance and business. Let's now move on to our next segment, the morning print. To get you a glimpse of what the national dailies are carrying this morning, we are beginning first with the news from Hindustan Times. In an interview to this newspaper, the Commerce and Industry Minister Suresh Prabhu has said he's spoken about India offering new package to the US. He said India has offered a conciliatory package to diffuse trade tensions with Washington, sparked by a decision that was taken by President Donald Trump last month to deny India preferential market access to the US. In fact, he's also spoken about how India has significantly narrowed its trade deficit with China by reducing Chinese imports by about $13 billion and is set to post robust growth in overseas shipments, which are set to reach $540 billion. Let's move on now to this piece of opinion being carried in the Pioneer. Interesting one ahead of the elections. Tune into a debate on climate change. And the piece here speaks about how India prides itself on being an emerging economic superpower that has high levels of technically qualified and educated people, but sadly this does not reflect sufficiently when one observes its polity and processes. While the level of education, it further reads, is directly proportional to the level of awareness. Therefore, it is puzzling how a fairly educated population is allowing essential issues like that of climate change to get buried in the last pages of the manifesto. It further says these subjects relating to environment must feature in the top 5 subjects on which every party and leader's contribution and performance is evaluated and ranked. Very important concerns they're being raised in this piece of opinion. Moving on now to news from Hindustan Times once again. Electoral bonds have brought in transparency, says the centre's affidavit. The centre has dismissed the Election Commission concerns over electoral bonds and reiterated that the scheme has pushed in more transparency and accountability in the electoral funding. In a fresh affidavit filed in the Supreme Court, the government rejected the poll watchdog's apprehension that electoral bonds will enable foreign companies to influence the Indian policies. And moving on now to news from the Times of India. This is on the weather front, where SkyMet forecast has said that monsoon likely to be below normal, downgrading its initial assessment of normal rains. Private weather forecaster SkyMet has said that India is likely to see a below normal monsoon this year, with central and east India at most risk of poor rainfall. That's due to a projected presence of El Nino during the season. In fact, the SkyMet has pegged the countrywide rainfall during the monsoon period at 93% of the long period average. And of greater concern for agriculture is the forecast of weak rains during June and July, when most of the sowing for the Kharif takes place. And towards the end, we are leaving you with this very interesting cartoon here being carried by The Hindu. Well, it is really anyone's guess. The principal opposition party had released its manifesto a few days back, and yes, this cartoon is on that subject, asking, so did you discover what's ailing your party? Very interesting one here. And this is what we're leaving you with in our morning print. Let's now move on and take a look at the significance of this day in history.
On this day in 1889, Padma Bhushan Makhanlal Chaturvedi, an Indian poet, writer and a journalist, was born in Hoshangabad in Madhya Pradesh. On this day in 1905, an earthquake hit the Kangra Valley, killing at least 20,000 and destroying most buildings in Kangra, MacLeodganj and Dharamshala. On the same day in 1987, Sachidananda Hirananda Batsyan, famous Hindi literature and Gyanpith award-winning poet, passed away in New Delhi. He was one of the most prominent exponents of the Nai Kavita and Prayog in modern Hindi literature.
And a look now at the important events listed for today.
Today is the file nomination for the third phase of the Lok Sabha elections. Polling will be held on the 23rd of April. BJP President Amit Shah will address public meetings in Narsaraopet and Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh to campaign for Lok Sabha elections 2019. Congress President Rahul Gandhi to file his nomination from Wayanad in Kerala. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will be present there. Congress President Rahul Gandhi will address a public rally in Nagpur in Maharashtra. BSP Chief Mayawati and Jana Sena Party founder Pawan Kalyan will jointly address public meetings in Tirupati and Hyderabad.
And with that, we are going in for a short break here, but don't go anywhere, because after we come back, we'll get your health story and the Good News India story of the day. Stay with us.
देश के सबसे भरोसेमंद न्यूज चैनल डीडी न्यूज की निष्पक्ष, निडर और बेबाक कवरेज।
पहली बार कोई भारतीय मीडिया पहुंचा है इजराइल और सीरिया के पास मौजूद एरिया ऑफ सेपरेशन पर।
इस वक्त जहां पे हम खड़े हैं वो पाकिस्तान की जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा है वहां से महज 25 किलोमीटर दूर है।
सीज फायर वायलेशन में सबसे ज्यादा निशाना इस गांव को बनाया गया।
जान जोखिम में डालकर हर चुनौती का सामना करने का साहस।
दंते 12 मई ये घटना लोकतंत्र का जो पर्व है उस पर सीधा हमला है।
इस समय रात के 2 बजे हैं और आप देख सकते हैं कि अब पाकिस्तान की तरफ से एक फायर आया है।
अति संवेदनशील जगहों से खबरों को पहुंचाने का जज्बा।
दूरदर्शन की टीम सबसे पहले गंगोत्री धाम पहुंची।
जीरम घाटी से होते हुए ये सड़क जो जा रही है सुकमा तक।
We are at the easternmost garrison of the Indian Army along the line of actual control with China.
डीडी न्यूज, केवल खबर, पूरी खबर।
Informative, incisive, intensive. Get your daily dose of news and analysis in English News Night every weekday at 9 p.m. on DD India. Channel number 620 on Tata Sky, 199 on Dish TV, 150 on Airtel, 28 on UCN and 395 on Videocon D2H. Welcome back, and time now for a health story of the day, and today we are focusing on corneal blindness, its prevention and treatment. Take a look.
Blindness of the cornea is among the leading causes of blindness globally. It may occur due to many causes.
Corneal injuries which can lead to blindness. The most important in the Indian scenario is corneal ulcerations. And this is very common in populations like farmers, where they get injuries with sugarcane leaves or other vegetable matters. Trauma because of any other causes can also lead to corneal problems, corneal ulcerations, corneal opacities.
Cornea is the outermost layer of the eye and is highly sensitive. Scarring of the cornea caused by a wide variety of infectious and inflammatory diseases or injury leads to severe vision loss or blindness.
Take care that the eye does not get damaged by concentrated color solutions used during Holi, during Diwali, because of firecracker injury, where children do not use the proper kind of protective glasses or protective safety measures which is required. Make sure that chuna is not kept within the reach of small children who can play with these things and thereby end up with severe corneal injuries. Another aspect is these whitewashing chuna, where the workers get injured or the buckets or the containers holding the chuna is left unattended and falls into the eyes of people. So that's another aspect which needs to be taken care of. In school environments, you have to educate children to be careful to avoid pen injuries or pencil injuries or any sharp instruments. So they need to be taught the right way to hold the writing instruments and the right way to handle instruments which are used for education, so that they do not cause injury to self or to the neighboring students as well.
Taking precautions may help in better control and prevention of corneal blindness. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
Moving on now, well, Fool's Day has just gone by and people got up to all kinds of silly stuff on that day all across the world. Now take a look at what hundreds of people did in the Hungarian capital Budapest as part of what was called the Silly Walk Parade. While it was all planned for people to just let off steam or let go of the inhibitions. And guess what? There was even a warm-up session and then a 3-lap march near underground station in the central Budapest filled with glitzy hotels. Many participants borrowed the style of British actor and comedian John Cleese's Monty Python television sketch of a civil servant walking in a loopy manner to the Ministry of Silly Walks. Well, that must be quite a fun. Let's now move on to our Good News India story, and today we are bringing you this report from Old Delhi, which despite its heritage has become increasingly steeped in dirt and litter in its famous gullies. But now a foundation is seeking to change just that. Here's how.
Purani Delhi, the old city in the national capital, steeped in history and lore, but slowly dying due to years of neglect. Its lanes dirty and strewn with waste. Cigarette packs here, betel leaf litter there, plastic bottles thrown away, empty plastic bags and glasses. But some here are saying it's enough, no more dirt. Bringing in the winds of change here is the Marham Foundation. Its members undergoing special training to change the look in the environments of the famous Jama Masjid. The task of generating awareness is a tough one.
कुछ लोग जमा हुए हैं जिन्होंने सोच लिया है कि इसको किसी तरह चेंज करेंगे। गार्बेज सेग्रीगेशन जैसी चीज़ लोगों को लगता है कि यहाँ लोगों के समझ में नहीं आएगी। जब तक हम ट्राई ही नहीं करेंगे तो हम कैसे बोल सकते हैं कि समझ में नहीं आएगी। तो बस एक होप लेके हम सब लोग जुड़े हैं यहाँ और इसको स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं।
The streets of Old Delhi are forever crowded. Foreign tourists too flock here. In such a scenario, the responsibility of residents in this area increases manifold. It now remains to be seen how successful the efforts of Marham are towards improving the conditions here. GNI team for DD News.
And a look now at the weather conditions across the country for today. And with that, it's time for us to wind up the breakfast news this morning, but we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll see you then. But before we go today, we're leaving you with some glimpses of Asia's largest tulip garden, and that's in Srinagar that opened recently for the public. Take a look at those visuals, and we wish you a great day ahead. Thanks for being with us.